Good afternoon. We're just going to wait for a few more attendees to join us, and then we'll get started. Okay, we have a few more people joining. Just going to give it maybe one more minute, and then I'm going to go ahead and get started. We had about 57 people registered, so I want to make sure everyone gets the information. Okay, I think that is going to be all the people joining us for this call. Good afternoon. My name is Dominic Adable, and I am the Senior Industrial Designer here at Meridian Kiosks. And welcome to our webinar for the Personnel Management Kiosk. Another person on our panel today will be Paul Burden, our Director of Software.
Good afternoon.
So we're going to just begin with a quick presentation about the kiosk and its features, and then at the end we're going to have our Q&A session where I'll go ahead and read questions for Paul and he'll answer. If you have any questions, please hold until that time period where you can enter your questions for everyone to have answered. Okay, without further ado. So today's presentation about the Personnel Management Kiosk is going to include a little bit about Meridian itself. So we are a fully integrated manufacturer of indoor and outdoor kiosks, as well as interactive digital signage and self-service software. We develop, design, and manufacture all of our hardware and software in-house. Paul's team takes care of their part in Canada in our Mississauga, Ontario office. In Aberdeen, North Carolina, we have our full-scale production facilities on our 13-acre manufacturing campus, which includes all our metal fabrication, laser cutting, welding, as well as powder coat. We are also ISO 9001-2015 certified, as well as UL self-certified facility. We are experts in ADA, FCC, and HIPAA compliance, and as I mentioned before, we have a full software development department in Canada. So starting off with the hardware, the image you see on the right is the freestanding Personnel Management Kiosk. It is designed to help protect the health and safety of both employees and guests by helping prevent anyone with a temperature or those without access from entering the facility. The features include temperature verification, facial identification, temperature threshold alarms, anodized aluminum finish, and the pedestal does come in countertop and freestanding configurations. And we will have wall-mounted options available soon. The anodized aluminum finish also comes with an optional antimicrobial paint. In this image, you can see the freestanding options. So the pedestal itself is a semicircle design, so you have the option to rotate the head unit and visually display the flat side if you choose to do so. There are also graphic options that come with the kiosk, and if you do choose to have a vinyl graphic applied to the kiosk, you can download our templates on the Meridian website, and we can put you in contact with one of our printing partners to have that done for you. We also have the countertop configuration, which will be available to order soon. And the countertop profile is the same as the freestanding design. It also has graphic options, and it has all the same features as the pedestal kiosk. Moving on to the software. So this is a board level software solution. So each personnel management kiosk comes equipped with that. And the features of that board level solution are the Wi-Fi and LAN connectivity. It is FCC and CE certified. There is a temperature variance of 0.9 degrees Fahrenheit. It has the ability to recognize up to 30,000 faces, and it can give voice prompts for high temperature, low temperature, or for the user to step forward or backwards to have their temperatures taken. There are a few other interesting features that come with the personnel management kiosk, such as the body temperature test, which we've mentioned, one of the main features. You have the ability to go in and change the compensation temperature calibration, which offsets the red temperature and calibrates the kiosk to environmental changes. You can also toggle the alarm threshold in Celsius and Fahrenheit, and this is the value at which the alarm is triggered. There is also a body temperature alarm, which gives you the ability to turn on the alarm sound when a user passes the temperature threshold, or to leave that off in case you're in an office setting where that might disrupt other workers. There is also a mass detection setting, and this setting can allow or deny users who are not wearing a mask, and this will be logged in the reports for you to see. Stranger mode, which is one of the other interesting settings, is a setting that can allow or deny users into your facility based on their classification of stranger or not. So when this setting is off, it will deny strangers access, and when it is on, it will let strangers in. On the screen, you can see on the image to the left what the face information page will look like. So these are current Meridian employees, and you can see it does have their name, their classification of staff. You can input visitor if you choose. There is an expiration date there, which is forever because they are permanent staff members, and you can also include a picture. So if you were having guests or visitors come into your building, they can check in, classify themselves as visitors, and potentially put the expiration date as 1 day. So they only have access to the facilities for that day. M0 Manage is our cloud solution that allows you to remotely monitor the kiosk through a browser. So it's designed to help you monitor multiple kiosks in remote locations. So it helps you keep track of the kiosks and keep them running at peak performance, and it's ideal for businesses that require system security and remote performance management. So the features of that include the ability to add and edit a list of employees, import the list of employees, as well as utilize the REST interface, and also it reports on the classic M0 Manage user interface. So those reports will include a timestamp, temperature, mask verification, as well as the employee's picture. So that does it with a quick overview. We have a few questions that have come in so far, but now you are free to send in all your questions, and I will have Paul answer them. Let me start with the first question. This goes, Paul, are you ready?
I am, yes.
Okay. This one's, how long does the audio alarm last?
It's about 3 seconds.
Okay.
So it's a siren sound, and there's also the option to change it to a voice prompt.
Can you add a healthcare screening questionnaire to the kiosk?
Not at this time. However, we're looking at some options to add a QR code where you can finish those options on a mobile device. Second to that, we were coming up with a Windows solution which would have potentially interactive prompts. We're looking at touchscreen or touchless options for those as well. More information will be made available when the Windows-based version of this is available.
Okay. Does it come without facial recognition? And what price range are these?
So for the first one, there is going to be a face camera in there. There's two ways that it's used. One is for face detection, and the other is for face recognition. Now, the difference between the two is the recognition is just to know that somebody's standing in front of it, and that triggers the thermal sensor. So we take a reading of the temperature when the face is detected. The recognition part is optional. So if you only want to detect strangers, you can just keep the stranger mode on, not add any employees, and it will only just scan people as strangers, and that triggers the thermal scan. Face recognition is when you have an employee and you need to recognize who they are and identify their name and log that information. So it's an optional use case.
Okay, next question. How long are temperature logs retained on the server with the hosted M0 managed service?
Yeah, we have a data retention policy, so it'd be 30, actually it's 3 months of data retention for that.
Okay, and does this device require calibration?
Generally, no, but we do recommend that you check occasionally with another known and trusted thermometer. So if you have an FDA-approved thermometer or a secondary source to verify, you can compare with the results of the unit and see if there's a discrepancy. If there's a slight discrepancy, you can go in and adjust manually the compensation plus or minus to match. However, generally, you wouldn't need to do that if the relative temperature and humidity is consistent within your facility. You likely don't need to do that at all, or if ever.
Is there a leasing option from your company for the units? I can go ahead and take that one. Yes, there are leasing options. If you want to go ahead and contact sales at M0, M as in Meridian, 0ZERO.com, we have leasing companies that we can put you in contact with.
Oh, I think we missed one too, the general pricing question. Do you have information,
Yeah.
Don?
Yes, the MSRP is 3,150. Okay, next question. What is the process of adding photos? Do students have to take them at the kiosk or are they preloaded?
So if depends on how you operate. If you want to operate in standalone mode, the students would need to go to the front of the unit and take a photo so they're recognized. If you want to operate in recognition mode. Also, we have a solution coming up very shortly. More information will be released later on the time frame and availability. M0 Manage will give you the ability to do bulk imports. So if you have existing photo sets of students, you can upload them. There's some size constraints. You can import them as a batch, and they would automatically propagate to your devices. So if you have multiple devices, that means the same student database would be available on all units.
Okay, next question. How do companies using your system ensure that employees actually do a scan?
It's typically by doing restricted access control. So a gate, a door, something like that, where you can't pass unless you actually did the scan. So that's one option for you. So enforcement that way. Turnstile, I guess, is another option. So physical means. There's nothing really stopping somebody from walking by if it's just a standalone device. However, you could probably monitor it with security. But yeah, that's the options at the moment.
Okay. Next question. If we have multiple kiosks, can they share user database or do they need to be managed individually?
Yeah, that's with M0 Manage gives you that capability of sharing the database between multiple devices.
Okay, next question. What is the, okay, sorry. Does it require a power source? Yes, you can just plug it into a standard 110 volt outlet straight out of the box. Next question. How does it deny entry? Does it tie into the existing card access systems?
Okay, there's two points to that. One is the denying of the entry. So it actually is it grants entry. Essentially, when you tie it into a physical gate, door, or turnstile, what happens is it releases a relay or it outputs Wigand card information. So you can tie into either of those two outputs to make a decision. With respect to the relay, it will close a relay, putting a voltage or a signal through that relay point, which would activate your turnstile door. That's on the successful read. And if it's a failed read, it won't open the door. Likewise, if use card access systems, we have a built-in MyFare option, which you can order. If you have MyFare cards at your facilities, we can scan it 32 or 24-bit output from the Wigand pigtail connectors that are at the end of the kiosk. So you can connect it to your door controller to open the door that way. But also you can use your existing security system to validate the card too. So as the data is transmitted, you can still decide on if you grant access based on the card information. With respect to other card formats, and we are researching access control for HID cards. I hope to have more information in the coming weeks on that initiative. So.
Okay, next question. Can you transfer data from one kiosk to another kiosk through USB?
No. You'd need the M0 Manage functionality for that.
Okay.
You can, however, export entry records through USB. So you can pull access logs from each device.
Okay, and does it have an alarm at the desktop or will it only be at the kiosk itself?
If it's a standalone, then it's only at the kiosk itself. If you have M0 Manage, we're going to have a built-in alarm facility so that you can receive a notification on your desktop through Notification Center. Through the browser, you just need to allow notifications as you log in with your user account.
Okay, next question. When will the Windows version be available?
I think it's about a month and a half or 2 months out.
Okay. Next question. What is the M0 managed cost in a SaaS model?
$295 per kiosk per year. That's quantity one. If you have additional kiosks, there's price breaks at quantities. Suggest you contact your sales rep for details on your scenario.
Okay. Next question. The unit pictured looks like it uses an iPhone. Is the unit all inclusive or will other equipment be needed?
No, it's a completely, yes, it's completely standalone, and it's an Android-based tablet device with a lot of extra things that have been packed in to do this temperature scanning. Did you want to add something to that, Don?
Oh no, just gonna answer that
Okay.
same thing.
Yeah.
Next question. When will a silent alarm be available on the standalone kiosk?
Yeah, that is a change in our roadmap where we can silence the alarm and do discrete notifications. That's been asked for, so that's definitely in our roadmap. However, I just want to let you know that there is the ability just to turn the volume off. So if you want it to say only screen prompts and be completely silent, you can still do that. But I hope to have a version out of it soon with that functionality to disable the siren. You can also switch from the siren to the voice when there's a failure, so it's a little more discreet. So you can turn the volume down, and then only the individual user would be able to hear the direction and not people around.
Okay, next question is what is the lead time on the unit? So the current lead time is 5 to 6 weeks. And next question is, hold on, there's a few here. Can faces be added from M0 management interface, or do they need to be added at the kiosk?
Yes, if you have M0 Manage, you can add them through by adding them individually and uploading a photo, or as a bulk import. And if you don't have M0 Manage, or you could choose actually, even if you had M0 Manage, to add them locally. Although if you wanted to propagate, you would need to add it through M0 Manage, so instead of the local option.
Okay. Next question is, as you develop new software, can it be uploaded to an existing system? Is there a cost? Sorry, yeah, that was
Within within the first year, if there's a need, we can get you the latest version. So we'd offer a download link. If you're running a standalone version, you'd have to copy the APK, which is the Android installer, over to the device and run it. And we'll send instructions on how to tame that SDK or the API, sorry, the APK, and run that on the device. If you have M0 Manage, there will be a remote push capability. So once you're at the base version that supports M0 Manage, you'll be able to push subsequent updates through the central server. So that'll make things easier in the future as new releases and features are added. After year one, there's no warranty past year one, so it's a $150 fee for every version upgrade, I believe.
Okay. Next question is, what is the cost of the freestanding and countertop units? So the MSRP on the freestanding unit is $3,150, and the countertop unit, which is not available for sale yet, will be $3,050. Okay, next question. How long does someone need to wait? And if they need to wait but can be allowed in, how do they get them acclimated? So I think this might be an ambient temperature question. Like if someone comes in from outside, how long they need to wait?
Yeah, we found it was pretty quick. So it is true, if you come in from very hot temperatures, it does reflect on your on the scans. So if you put the kiosk immediately at the door and they just come in from a very hot day, it does take a few seconds for them to get acclimated. There's nothing stopping the user from taking a second scan if they are over temperature. We were not able to reproduce that in cold weather, though. I found that in my tests, when I tried to make my face cold or come in from cold weather, it acclimated, actually slightly raised my temperature, but I couldn't make it reduce my temperature due to cold weather. However, hot weather, I think, takes a few more seconds to acclimate. It was pretty quick though, so um, it's probably measured in seconds, not minutes.
Okay. Next question. What would the voice prompt say if you fail the temp alarm?
I don't recall the exact message, but I believe it's something like over temperature. If we have the email, we could follow up with that question after the webinar.
Yeah, and I think you've said in the past they have the ability to send their own customized messages as well.
Yeah, you can customize the voice prompts and the on-screen messages. We are offering that free of charge if you have quantities over 100 units. However, if you have a lesser amount, we'd have to probably quote customization because we have to make a special version. So that's possible, yes.
Okay.
I guess that could also solve the, just thinking out loud, we could probably mute the alarm or the voice mode for that. The previous question where they're asking to silence the high temperature alert, we could probably make a custom build that disables the audio prompt or just has a silent file for the voice prompt on that screen. So custom build is possible.
Okay. So next question is there a possibility to integrate this system with another visitor system that
Yeah,
would print
there's
a badge or something like that?
yeah, there's a couple of integration possibilities. If you have a building access, there's WIGA and pigtail connectors. So it's a common interfacing technology for security systems, door and facility access. So you can enable that. That's for physical connections. And we do have APIs in M0 Manage, which allow you to manage employees and track and pull reports of who accessed the system. So you can use that for security as well.
Okay, next question. How do you review who has high temperatures?
There's two ways. There's an export button in the menu system. So attaching a mouse, clicking the center button and entering the password would allow you to go into the menu system. And then there's entry records. You may export that onto a USB jump drive. That's if you have the standalone version. If you have M0 Manage, they are automatically uploaded and synchronized between all the devices. So they'll aggregate the reports, and then you'll be able to go into the reports and pull a query for a date range and see all the entries.
Thank you. Next question is, how tall is the standalone system? So the freestanding kiosk is 60.63 inches. And the follow-up to that is, do people have to stoop down? And the answer is no. There are voice prompts to let you know if you need to step forward or backwards. And this height is good to scan people in a wheelchair all the way up to 6'5". Okay. Next question is, when you are talking about acclimation, what is a few seconds?
Well, I don't think there's a scientific, like I don't know if there's actually like an equation to say how long it's going to take in time, but it does take perhaps a couple seconds for heat to dissipate. But I suppose that could change depending on a variety of factors, the ambient temperature in the room, where the device is located,
And
how
everyone's
hot
body is different as well.
Yeah, everyone's body is different, so I don't think we could say a specific time there. So, but it'd be faster than a few seconds in our experience, because we did some testings, for instance, firing a heat gun on someone's face. and that's a very hot temperature, and heated the face up just for the purpose of demonstrating what happens in a high temperature scenario. And we had to do that and very quickly scan the face in order just to simulate a temperature, because it dissipated very fast, so within seconds.
Okay, next question. Can you add a, no, that's a repeat. What support is needed for the units? Is there any integration needed?
The units will work right out of the box, so you can plug them in. If you want to use the employee mode, you can start taking photos of the employees through the software itself. There's some instructions that we'll send you along with the unit on how to do that. So there's really no integration required. If you have a unit with M0 Manage, we will give instructions on how to connect that to M0 Manage to remotely connect the device.
Okay. This is a follow-up for the voice prompts. They're asking, so you can add please CHR if you feel the temperature reading. I believe so.
Yeah, so if we do customize your voice prompts and your screen text, that can definitely be something to add. Yes. But again, we make that change. It's included for orders over 100, so we'll make you a custom version of the APK. If it's less than 100 quantity, then we'll probably have to quote time and material to put that together. There's a template that we can send you to edit the language file. You can also send us the MP3 files, the sound files for the recording of the voice prompts, and we would build a custom version, and we would probably quote you on lesser quantities for a custom APK. I don't know exactly what we would quote for that, but it would be time and materials based.
Okay, next question. Are there other costs with the standalone units?
No.
No. Next question. Are high temperatures logged on the device as well as the M0 Manage hosted server?
Yes, in both cases, unless you have guest record off and it's a guest. Guest record is an option. If you've disabled that, it will not log an over temperature guest. But otherwise, if you have it to record and there's an over temperature, it will save to the device and to M0 Manage.
Next question. Does M0 Manage automatically and immediately push high temperature alerts via email and or text, or does the admin need to proactively go into the system to pull the reports?
You need to be subscribed by email or include or opt into the desktop notifications through the browser in order to receive those alerts. We don't send the actual information through like the temperature or if it's detected as a name, who the name is, but you do have to log in to the device, to the management console to see the details, because we won't transmit personally identifiable information across messages.
Next question. Are you aware of any access control platform integrations with your product?
I know that several have been integrated, but I don't have specifics on which ones.
Next question. How many people can be scanned on this device at the same time? Can it scan multiple people as they enter?
No, it's one at a time. So you have to be close enough to cover the field of view of the device. So there's a silhouette. You walk up to the silhouette, put your face in that silhouette. You're pretty much covering the whole field of view at that point. It will take 2 seconds at that point to measure at the default settings. If you're wearing a mask, it will take longer, several seconds in order to scan, just because of the complexity of adding the mask in there. It covers half your face. So just keep that in mind. So the next person can then follow up again and scan within almost immediately. So as soon as you step away, the next person can present their face and would scan again 2 seconds. So it's reasonable to scan. I think we were saying 10 people a minute if you're
Yes.
respecting social distancing, etc.
Mhm. Next question, and this is a two-parter. How many people can receive alerts from M0? And does wearing a mask affect the facial recognition?
There's no limit to how many people can register with M0 Manage. So if you have multiple administrators, they can all register. The face mask does complicate the face recognition mostly. So if you're trying to recognize who the employee is, it will slow down that face recognition process. If you're in guest mode and doing only guests, the presence of the mask doesn't interfere with the face detection process too much. So it would be if it's face recognition that the process would slow down the mask because the nose and the mouth is covered.
Okay, next question. How long have we been selling this? Are there many other sellers for the standalone units?
I think
So
it's
we've,
about 2 months
Mhm.
now.
Yes.
Yeah. And there are resellers that resell Meridian's product. I don't know if the list of those, do we have it? Or
That can be found on the Meridian
yeah,
Kiosk Partners page on
there
our
we go.
website. Okay. And do you have third-party temperature verification? So I
I
know
think we're pursuing third-party validation, like independent validation by UL, but that's in process right now. So
we do have references that we can share with you of,
true.
I think, a local hospital that has actually used this, so they can vouch for its accuracy. Okay. Has the personnel management solution been validated HIPAA compliant?
So we're saying that this has not been certified or reviewed for HEPA compliance. We'll leave that decision to you. We can give you all the information that your security team needs to make that evaluation. I believe we have the ability to certify specific scenarios, but you need to contact us with that. So it's on a case-by-case basis only.
Next question. Is there a service agreement that comes with the units in case they are not operational or need repairing? So
Yeah, go ahead.
yes, there is the 1-year return to depot warranty. And you get, I think you have the ability to fill out RMAs, send the defective unit back, and we will repair or replace it and send it back to you.
And there's also a support email, so you can create tickets and access the knowledge base during the support period.
I think there's a follow-up to that. They're asking, will there be upgrades to SLAs?
No, I think we're just offering the standard SLA at this point. I think HP was looking at offering their own SLA as well, but I have to talk to them about that for the details. So.
Next question, is there another pedestal option? Not at this time. We are only selling the freestanding and countertop ones, and the freestanding ones are the ones being shipped at this time. Soon we will have the wall mount and pole mount versions available, and you will be able to mount those on a custom pedestal, or contact us for a custom design, which can be done just based off of volume. Next question, I don't know if we have the answer to this. How many installed units are there in the US right now?
Yeah, I don't have the exact. Do you have any details on that, Don?
No, hundreds to thousands. I mean, we're getting so many purchase orders and shipping so many out. I don't have the exact number, but it's a lot. Okay, next question. Okay, this one is, I guess, a follow-up to the pedestal. They see a flat and a round pedestal on the website. So that pedestal is the same design. You just swivel the head unit 180 degrees and just use the other side. And we have graphic templates for the curved side as well as the flat side. Next question, when will wall mount units be available? We are working to make those available through our partners. If you want more detailed information, you can contact sales@m0.com, but those will be available very soon. Next question, do you have local New York City tri-state partners for installation and configuration services? I'm not sure about that. You can,
We do have field service
oh,
options. Yeah,
okay.
white glove installation services, but you'd have to contact our service department for that. They're very easy to set up, though. You just take it out of the box,
Would that be
plug it in.
through help@m0.com? Or
Yeah, for that. I guess you could talk also to the sales rep because that would you could ask for installation services. We do that for other kiosks too. This one's so easy to set up though. We don't typically do that, but it's possible.
Next question, where is your data center for M0?
It is in Virginia, so we have a data center there through CenturyLink.
Next question, is your product on GSA or other buying contracts?
That sounds like a reseller specific question. Not sure which reseller they're referring to.
They might have to clarify, or you can provide more information if you just email someone at sales@m0.com, and we should be able to answer that question for you. Next question, what is the battery upgrade cost? So at the moment, we are still testing the battery. We haven't put out the cost for that yet. When we do, we will send it through all our reps, as well as put it on the Meridian website to let you guys know it is available. Next question, will the tablet be upgradable after purchase? I don't believe so. This is an integrated solution with the board as well as the sensors and the screen. So you cannot upgrade the individual screen or tablet after purchase. Next question. in comparison to our competitors, is our software a proprietary difference in the selling point? Paul, you still?
Yeah, could you repeat the question? Sorry, I didn't quite.
This is in comparison to competitors you're seeing on the
Right.
internet. Is the software proprietarily, is there a proprietary difference, and is that a selling point?
Well, I think there are functional differences. Like they have ones that I guess scan crowds without scanning specific individuals that are not really oriented to bit access or security. They're more passive or straightforward device. So there are differentiators, I believe, in the field. So as to what those are, I'd have to speak to specific solutions, but I think the speed, the accuracy of recognition, and the server support tools that we'll offer are the differentiators there. And the capabilities to integrate with building security relays, those also are often not present in those solutions.
Okay, next question. What is the dimension of the display?
It's an 8-inch screen, and the enclosure itself is wider than 8 inches, but
And is the screen touch screen?
non-touch. So all the interactions are done without actually physically touching the unit.
And for any questions about tracking information on current orders, please contact 3psaom@hp.com. We're getting a few questions about that, so I just want to cover that for everybody. Let's see. When can we expect delivery if we ordered today? When would the product ship? So right now, the lead times are 5 to 6 weeks if it was ordered today. And we are working to shrink down those lead times. Okay. Believe that's actually it. If we're not getting any more questions come in, that was the last question, Paul.
Okay, great.
If I missed any questions currently being typed, please go ahead and send those to sales@m0.com, and we will get those answered for you privately. So thank you for joining us today, and thank you very much, Paul.
Yep. Thank you, Dom. Thanks, everyone.
Bye.